Right. Well, we're pretty much back to where we need to be. Let's adjust that. So you can see where we are. Very nice. Okay, so this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got one more run. And it's gone 3 o'clock, so it's time for a non-alcoholic beer. Say hello to the celandines, to the green gage tree and peonies. It's not really beer. So I'm going to try to adjust the angle so you get a nice angle on this. But we're ready for another light coloured row. So you can see properly. I'm going to go a bit more like this. Knit, yarn over, slip. So the next time you knit, it's going to automatically wrap that slip stitch. Yarn over, slip. I'm going to expose some more stitches so you can see them. Knit. Ooh, yarn over, and then slip the next, which will automatically wrap. So there we go. One of those. And what I was trying to show you the first video is this business here, is that you wrap over the top of this next needle. When you're moving to the new needle, you wrap over the top of the last one. That's just on the knits, mind. So knit, yarn over, slip. So I'll just do this really quick. Because yeah, it's just that business that I was saying. Brioche is double everything. I've got to keep a wee eye on this camera because it overheated after 20 minutes. And though it was sort of in direct sunlight, I still think that's rubbish because this is designed to be out in, you know, desert or it's an action camera. And there's the last one, which we leave dangly. There's our purl row coming up, which is slip, wrap, purl. Slip, wrap, purl. And the key to this sort of brioche is always constantly counting your stitches. Seems that, you know, even with 32, you need to keep an eye. Because of this wrapped stitch business, it's very easy to mistake one for another or some such. Oh, my preview's disappeared. So I'll keep it. I really want this camera dipping down a bit like that. Oh, now you're talking. I think that's good. So you're looking down and you can see a bit more of what I'm doing, which is slip, wrap, purl. And this exciting bit coming up, because after this row we will have finished our 6 rows of knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, and we will have finished our 6 rows of plain brioche. We're now going to go into uncharted territory. Well, it's not uncharted territory. We're now going into the complexities. I mentioned in the last video about what you have to do to essentially unwrap the pattern to go from a 2-dimensional to a 3-dimensional pattern, because I like to think of a single piece of yarn as a 1-dimensional object. It's a line. As soon as you start knitting a scarf, back and forth, you make it into a 2-dimensional object. As soon as you go into multiple needles, and you see I left that dingly dangly, remember? That's when that gets closed up there. As soon as you go into multiple needles, this becomes a 3-dimensional object. That's what I like to think in terms of knitting its dimensions. So the pattern has to be changed over to go from a 2-dimensional, which goes knit, knit, purl, to this continuous strip. So you have to flip it a bit. But we're going to go there, because here I've got the original recipe. Here's our recipe, and it goes on for a while. Row 4, and here's an even row. Okay, let's say you get row 4 light side, and that's row 4 dark side, row 5 light color knit, row 5 dark color knit, then turn, then row 6 dark color purl, row 6. Look, anyway. Oh yeah, I used AI to transpose some of this, and you'll see it's gibberish. Never mind. On this page is my compressed notation for it. Right decrease, knit 5, increase. That's because I know it's in brioche, so I don't need reminded every time that this is a BRK or a BRP or a particular. This is me compressing it for my own purposes. That's nice. In any case, my first row, right decrease, knit 5, increase. So that's a right slanting decrease. And you do it in the light color, because that's the way of it. So this would be slip your first, knit your second, keep that super tight, whip this back over, and a key bit is to keep that light coloured yarn at the top. And I actually go basically straight over here, keep that light coloured yarn at the top because it looks nicer. That's your right decrease, and it ends up with this going to the right. Right decrease, and we've yarned over, so we're ready just to do the next thing, which is knit 5, increase. So I don't need to tell myself that this, you slip this. So we're going to do 5 knit stitches. 1, 2, yes, they're pairs. 3, 4. Was that 4? No. 1, 2. No, that's 3 pairs. And here is going over. Remember to go over. Go over there. You see where? See what I mean? This is our 4th. Oops. Knit stitch. No. 5th knit stitch. Okay. So I've fulfilled the knit 5. Oh God. And then we do an increase. Super simple. Love it. Knit it once, yarn over, knit the same stitch again. Religiously, I pull a bit on this next slip stitch, don't know why. So we're ready to go. That's our increase. Now we're going to go straight back into a decrease because this is a repeat. And we should be halfway through all our stitches, which, given that there's 10 on this needle, 10 on this needle and 12 on this, is that halfway we'll have 6 stitches on here. Remember, these are brioche stitches. So we are ready to do our repeat. So we're going to go with that right decrease. We're going to slip that pair over, knit the next one, pop this back, light color on top. Okay, pop this over, light color on top, and you have a right slanting decrease. You're going to slip the next stitch. We're already yarned over, so we're going to knit 1. And over the top, over the top, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and this is our last stitch. Here it is, and it's going to be an increase. So you're going to start messing around with the number of stitches you have on each needle as your increases and decreases move around. So that was the increase there. Just knit, yarn over, knit into the same thing, and you've got 3 stitches blooming out of here. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Slip that, and remember, leave the dingle dangle. I'm throwing that round so my yarn doesn't get tangled. And we're ready to do a perfectly normal purl row. Okay, perfectly normal, which means, picking this up, ready to wrap. And there's our decrease. We're going to wrap and purl. Slip, wrap, purl. Slip, wrap, purl. Slip, wrap, purl. And you'll now notice I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches on here, rather than the 10 I started off with, because I've done a decrease here, the right slanting decrease, and my increase is on this needle. So I'm inclined to keep things balanced. Just do a sneaky slip, wrap, purl, onto this needle, onto this needle, which gets me back to 10 stitches. Why the hell not? Just keep things balanced. Slip, wrap, purl, slip, and here's our increase. Slip, wrap, purl. Just pretend nothing's happening. Slip, wrap, purl. And here's our decrease. Look, whoa, slip, wrap, purl, and slip, wrap, purl. Onto our final needle. Slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl. And here's our final little increase, which we just go slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, and purl. Oh, we dingle dangle. Here it is. Purl. All nice, all beautiful. Oh, look at this, it's very beautiful. And we have our first worked row with a decrease, then an increase, then a decrease, then an increase. And that's how the whole thing starts out. That's this first row here. Beautiful thing. Now, this pattern differs from all the rest in that rather than following up a worked row like that with a straight knit and a straight purl, we're going to work this row as well. So you put loads of extra work in, which means hello there. Oh, that mimosa looks amazing. Looks fantastic. But we have another worked row. This pattern is busy. But there's a logic to it. You can see the increase moving along closer until we get to here, where the increase is followed by the F5. So there's an easy logic to it. So it's the same as last one, but with 4 increase, then 1. So, let's untangle our yarns. Lovely. I can do that once more. Beautiful. Here it is. So we're starting again with the right decrease, because we do that for a lot of this pattern. So that's a slip and a knit. Nice and tight. Pop this over. Oh, I'm not sure if I entirely like that. Something's going to... Hold on a second. See, I've split that yarn very slightly, but I've rescued it. So that's the first slip over. Now we've got a second slip over here. Oh, beautiful. So there's our completed, and you see the light coloured yarn is all on the top, so you get a nice looking decrease there. But now we're going to knit 4, this row being the slightly wee bit shorter for the increased. 1, 2, 3, 4, 'That's it. Just our decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and 4 is where we want to be. And now our increase is here. Just knit it yarn over, knit it again, and there we have knit one, and we are halfway through. So that's finished our first repeat. Now you notice we've got a lot less stitches because we've got increases happening up here. We'll get there. So on our second nail we got a load more. Alright, okay. We're gonna go again. We're gonna go with our decrease. Slip that. Knit that. Slip that back. No dramas. Light colour on top. Slip that to here. Slip that. No dramas. Light colour on top. Beautiful thing. That's completed. Then yarn over and slip. So that's our decrease. Then we got to knit 4. Remember, over the top, right over the top. See here, that's going to happen. Over the top. Knit 1, add our decrease, and knit 1, knit 2, knit 3, knit 4. We get 2 stitches left, which is right because this one's the increase. Knit once, yarn over, knit the same stitch again, giving us 3 stitches out of 1. We slip the next one as usual, and then we knit this. So that's the second worked row complete. Very beautiful. So it's just right decrease, knit 4, increase, knit 1. So we've just done that. And because you work every light coloured row in this pattern, I like to juggle these stitches a bit. You don't have this problem with circular needles, but I just find this there's just endless faff with circular needles. So let's slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl. So we're back to that business of only 4 pairs, so only 8 stitches on there. And if you don't want to knit across, you can just get your other needle and go, hey, I want 10 on there. So just nick them. And back you go. Super easy. Slip, wrap, purl. So I've nicked another couple of stitches to keep me on 10 on the first needle. I'm going to nick a bunch off the next one. So we're going to make sure that's wrapped. Nice. Slip, wrap, purl into your increase. Slip, wrap, purl into your increase. Lovely. Slip, wrap, purl into your increase. Oh no, we're not doing that, we're just purling. Oh, here's our decrease. Hello, mate. Happens just the same. Slip, wrap, purl. So how many stitches will be on here? I don't like them. I want 12 on here, really. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's nick 1, 2, 3, 4 off here, because it's going to get unwieldy if it's got dozens of stitches on it. And we're just slipping along the needle. Do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did? Put them on this end, slid them to there, and they're ready to purl. So slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl. And now we have a nice 6 pairs, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on there. Hi, Julia. One, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap, purl. Oh, slip, wrap, purl, slip, wrap. And there we have it. That's our second worked row. You're starting to see some stuff happening. And so here we got the first right decrease, second right decrease, lovely. And there's an increase, more, you see 2 right, beautiful bloody thing that, and more increases happening. They will work themselves out, they look a bit shit at the moment, don't worry. And I've also, on the purl row, evened out the stitches. Okay, so we're back to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So that's just for peace of mind. You don't have to do it all the time, but with this particular pattern, the Bart and Francis, you've got to keep on top of it. And what I like to do with my Remarkable is make sure that you have a layer 2 on, which you can't see at the moment, but I'll just show you what that does. I'm on layer 2, so I can actually go, yeah, I've done that, yeah, I've done that. And as we work through, I know where I am. And then when I've worked through them all, I can erase the working marks and leave the original instructions behind. Nice, huh? Okay, so we're on there, on there. And you've got the overall method for getting this done in my style. Let's pause that for a bit, because I think that's a good little bit.